evening. Hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Kerri Wade. Thank you for being here for Reiki Live this evening. Tuesday nights, I love to get on here and send out some Reiki to everybody who is needing some healing in some area of their life. Reiki is an energy, and it can be sent to the physical level, the mental level, the emotional, or the spiritual. It heals from the spiritual level. Hi, Kristen. How are you? So it starts at the spiritual level. It is a more complete healing because it heals from the root instead of just a band-aid. And so Reiki energy, it's just a soft, beautiful energy. We're working with the energy system in your body to fill you up with that energy that you might be depleted of. Everything is made of energy, so everything runs on energy. It fuels all of our chakras. It fuels everything. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. So you like my my monsoon weather hair? Our monsoons finally arrived here in Arizona and Phoenix last night, and we really look forward to monsoon season because we get rain, and we don't get an awful lot of rain here, and it drops our temperature down, at least temporarily, for a little while anyway. So monsoon has finally arrived. It's a little bit late this year, and I saw something on Facebook today about how y'all need to feel sorry for girls with naturally curly hair during this season because we all look like we all look like alpacas, is what it said. I can relate to that. So my hair might be a little wild here for the next little bit. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Julie. Thank you guys for joining and for being here tonight. Wow, what a week, huh? This past week. Anybody else feel this crazy energy stuff going on? It seemed like everything was hitting at once. And, for me personally, hi, Lisa. A lot of emotional stuff, a lot of really heavy stuff came up last week. My friend Terry Ann, who I was on 2 weeks ago in Sedona doing my Facebook Live with Terry Ann, beautiful healer that is a dear, dear friend of mine. She lost her 27-year-old son quite quickly last week. Something happened where his blood supply to his spleen and his pancreas got shut down, and he was in excruciating pain, and he passed away very quickly. Totally unexpected. She's devastated. So that happened, I believe it was Tuesday night. It was after my live last week. And then I have another very dear friend who has cancer and has been in the hospital for about a week. And so just a lot of praying going on. I've been doing a lot of praying. I've been sending out a lot of Reiki energy. I've been even bringing in some theta healing energy that I've been sending out to friends. Plus I've got a couple of friends who are just dealing with cancer right now as well. So it's kind of crazy. Yes, Curls Gone Wild. That's where I was going. And actually my girl from Curls Gone Wild opened up her own place in Phoenix, and I have a haircut this week, so I'm so glad to go get it cut. But yes, Curls Gone Wild. If you're here locally and you have naturally curly hair, you got to go see somebody who only works with curly hair, I think. I was like 55 years old before I figured out how to do my hair so that I could wear it curly and really like it. So anyway, I just saw that go by here a minute ago. Hi, Hope. How are you? So anyway, just a lot of really crazy things. And I'm just so thankful that I have the tools that I have, because it has helped me to stay very centered. It's helped me to stay in a place of peace where I can send love and comfort and prayers to these people, these dear friends of mine. And it's hard. It's just been some really hard stuff just in the last week since I was on here. Crazy. So this week it feels like the energy has kind of mellowed out, and I don't know what the planets and all that stuff are doing, but it's like kind of like released its hold a little bit. And I kind of feel like we can all take a collective sigh of relief right now. So, hi Vanessa, how are you doing? Another thing that is going on, I had an interview yesterday at MD Anderson Cancer Care here in Gilbert. I think it's Gilbert, maybe it's Mesa technically. And they are going to get their guided imagery program started again for their cancer patients who are in the hospital. And this is part of my hypnotherapy instructor a few years ago started this pilot program with a couple of the banner hospitals here in town, which MD Anderson is part of. And they were doing guided imagery, which is what we call hypnotherapy in hospitals. Same thing, basically. They were doing guided imagery with the cancer patients as they were getting infusions. And the patients experienced a great deal of benefit from that. It helped to reduce their pain, their anxiety, their mental state was relieved. It was a great program that Linda Bennett put together. And so anyway, they stopped doing that a while back. And now they are just getting it ramped up again, but it's going to be in the patient rooms this time. They felt like in the infusion center, there's just so much activity around that maybe people weren't getting as much benefit from it as they could, even though they were benefiting. But it was, they're feeling like this is going to be a little bit more powerful to be able to do it in a more private setting with the patients and with the patients' families as well if they want to join in. So anyway, I am signed up to get started on that. I had to go do my blood work stuff, and they have to do a TB test. And once that is back next Monday, then they can go ahead and order my background check. And I go to an orientation on August 6th. And then I'll be working over there one day a week as a volunteer to do guided imagery on the cancer floor. So I'm really excited about that. So if any of my friends around here from locally here that would like to get involved with that, you have to have at least 100 hours of hypnotherapy, 100 hours certification. And amazing place. And so anyway, I feel really passionate about that, and I'm really excited about it. It was just kind of I filled out the volunteer form one day, and then everything else just happened like bang, bang, bang. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like really happening, you know? I just went with it. I just went with whatever. And so I'm excited about that. So let's see here. Tonight we're going to do some Reiki healing. I've got a new set of cards, and this just came today finally. I looked at these cards in Sedona when I was there a couple weeks ago, but I think I mentioned it last week. You know, it was like $40 for the set, which is kind of expensive for oracle cards. And anyway, like the next day after I got back, I had an email from Hay House that they had their half price sale going on. So they finally just came today, and it's called the Goddess Power Oracle Cards. And this is by Colette Baron-Reed, who's also the one who does the postcards from Spirit that I pull for you each week. I love her stuff. These cards are gorgeous. I did just a quick spread for myself earlier, and wow, everything was like right on, perfect, right on. So anybody who shares this video tonight while we are live, or even afterwards, I guess, that would be okay too. Share it on your personal page or share it on a group that you belong to. I'm going to pull one of these cards and I will send you the interpretation. I'm not like a tarot specialist, and so I'm going to send you the interpretation from the book, okay? So it will be accurate at least. But they are absolutely gorgeous cards, and I will send you a picture of your card as well. So I'll try to get all of those out tomorrow to you. And I really appreciate you sharing this with your friends, anybody who might need a little Reiki. So that's that. And as I said at the end, we'll be pulling a postcard from Spirit again, a message for everyone to get you through this next week. So I'm out of breath. The alpaca head is out of breath. So let's just take a moment. Close your eyes. Let's just settle in. Let's take a deep breath and let it out with a sigh. Breath is the most powerful free tool that you have. I'm telling you, if you're anxious, if you're itchy about something, if you're worrying, you're going through some anxiety issues, sit down and breathe. Let's take another deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just allow your attention to move inward. You can continue with some nice deep breaths. And just allow your breath to return to normal whenever you're ready for that. If this is your first time here, my name is Kerri Wade, and I am a Reiki Master Teacher in Chandler, Arizona, which is just outside of Phoenix. I also practice Karuna Reiki, which is a beautiful, beautiful addition to my regular Reiki. And Karuna is just a very gentle energy. It's very much the energy of Kuan Yin and Mother Mary. And the thing I love so much about Karuna is that when we're going through those healing times, especially when it's an emotional or a mental type of thing that you're going through, it allows us to heal without so much pain. Does that make sense? Without having it totally rip our hearts out like sometimes it can do. It just kind of cradles that healing. And when I'm doing Karuna, oftentimes what I feel when I'm working with a client and I'm doing Karuna Reiki, I feel something lifting from them. It feels very much just like holding a little baby, just like cradling that baby in my hands. And it's just very, very gentle and very loving. And so anybody that has any hairs in my everywhere. Anybody who has any deep trauma, perhaps, or some really emotional things that are happening to you, some real deep physical healing that needs to be happening, that you're working on bringing about, the Karuna just does it in the softest, most motherly way, and that's what is so beautiful about it. I do sessions here in my home. We're in my Reiki room right now. I also have a room next door to this that I use for doing hypnotherapy. And I also do distance healings. So Reiki is just as powerful from a distance as it is in person. I work with animals as well, and animals respond beautifully to Reiki, as do children. Children respond beautifully. Pregnant women, awesome. You get a double whammy because mama and baby both get it. So anyway, and Reiki is just an energy, working with all the energy system in your body. As I mentioned, it's kind of like a massage for your energy system. So it's not manipulative like a regular massage. And instead of working on the muscles like you do in a regular massage, you're working on your energy system. Equally important. Okay, we have to have the whole mind, body, spirit connection. And so all you have to do to receive Reiki here tonight is just sit back and set an intention to receive it. Okay, whether you need something on the physical level, any pain issues you're going through, maybe some physical healing you're doing. I work with a lot of cancer patients with Reiki. Any physical healing, any mental events that you're going through, any anxiety, depression, any trauma, any emotional issues, grief, loss, sometimes just not feeling good about ourselves, not feeling like we belong sometimes, just for examples. And spiritual issues, if you feel like you've become disconnected, that maybe you grew up in this happens a lot, so I'll just mention this part. Maybe you grew up in a very religious family and you had a lot of religious rituals. And when you became an adult, you kind of separated yourself from that. And you might be at a point in your life where you're kind of feel like you're missing something. Happens so often. It happens, probably 80% of the clients that I work with are going through some sort of needing to connect with themselves, to connect with their higher power, to connect with other people and loved ones. Reiki is beautiful on all levels. It's smart energy. It will go wherever it is needed the most first. So just set your intention. What do you need some healing around? How would you like to feel at the end of this session? Just give that some thought for just a moment and get a really good picture of what it would feel like if you were free of whatever it is that you want to let go of. How would that feel? How would it look? How would you feel about yourself? How would it affect your family, your relationships, your work, if you felt that way? Just take on that feeling right now of what it was going to feel like, what it's going to feel like. Again, it could be a pain issue, it could be a health issue. You just need to feel some peace in your heart over something. Since Reiki is an energy, it can be sent distance, like we're doing here tonight. It's done with intention. It's an energy that just flows through me to you, and I direct it to you wherever you are and for whatever you need. Very much like tuning into a car radio station to listen to music. This is kind of how it is with Reiki. People experience different things during Reiki. Some people are very sensitive to the energy, and they actually feel it moving through them. They feel blockages dissolving. They feel those slow, sluggish areas in their energy systems, in their chakras, fill up with the energy, the healing energy of Reiki, and begin to move more freely. Other people will experience hot, cold temperatures. Some people experience vibrations or tingling, or maybe a certain part of your body goes numb, like your foot falling asleep or your arm falling asleep. A lot of people feel things in their head. They'll feel stuff moving around in their head, or it's interesting when I'm doing in-person sessions, I start out at the head, and I can be on their feet, and they suddenly realize that I am not on their head anymore. They think I still am. They still feel my hands on their head, and I may have left their head 20 minutes earlier. It's just different for everybody. Some people see really vivid colors, blues, purples, very common. And some people really don't feel anything. They feel relaxed, but they aren't feeling any physical going-ons in their body. But normally within a day or two, sometimes a week or a month, they will become aware that there has been a shift. And it's kind of like they didn't even notice when the shift happened. They just notice that it has happened somewhere along the way. They feel different. Maybe they relate to other people differently. Maybe they pray differently. Maybe they feel differently about themselves or their jobs or their relationships. It can be a very subtle shift. So there's no right, no wrong way to feel Reiki. You cannot do it wrong. And it never, ever causes any harm. So you're not going to get worse from Reiki. Sometimes you will experience a detox sort of thing. We call it Reiki Flu. Just like sometimes after a massage, sometimes releasing those toxins from our muscles will bring on some flu-like symptoms. And some people get violently ill. I have a girlfriend who gets violently ill every time she has a massage. And she's like, I just can't do those anymore. I'm like, that's exactly why you need to do them. You got to get rid of those toxins. And Reiki can do the same thing. Even though it's much more subtle when it's with your energy system. You know, if you've got something heavy that maybe you've been trying to release for a while, sometimes this will just kick that last brick out from whatever is holding it up for you. And you will have a shift that's very strong. And you might kind of have those flu-like symptoms for a day. But that doesn't happen very often, so don't be afraid of that. Anything that is coming up for you is coming up to be healed. If you're not ready to heal it, it's not going to present itself. I always ask for permission to do Reiki on people. I don't just do it at my own will. Sometimes I have to work with the higher self, especially like with animals who can't communicate that, or somebody who maybe is very, very ill and can't really communicate and respond. I just work with their higher self and get permission. If I do send Reiki, just willy-nilly, because I feel like a situation or a place or a situation or a person or a group of people could benefit from it, it's always sent with the intention that it has to be accepted by the higher self of the people involved, or it will just go up into a cloud to benefit whoever needs to grab it. Sounds kind of silly, but it works. If you're having Reiki, either now or in the future, if you're having a one-on-one session, and maybe you start to get a case of the yawns, and you start yawning and yawning, or maybe you can't sit still, you're just kind of like twitchy and just kind of, your body just is like wanting to move, or you got an itch here and an itch there. Sometimes hiccups or belching, and farting. Those could all be energy releases. It happens, so just let it go. It's wonderful when that happens. It's a good thing. Sometimes your eyes leak. That's a good thing too. Let it flow. Southwest Institute of Healing Arts, where I received most of my training, we always say snot is beautiful. Snot is beautiful. Don't try to hold it in. Let it go. If you're just tuning in now, or if you came in a little bit late, thank you for being here. We're just sending out some Reiki energy tonight to everyone here who wishes to receive, whether it be for physical, mental, emotional, spiritual issues, stress. That's the most amazing tool for stress. And who doesn't have stress? Somebody tells me they have no stress in their life, it tells me they have chronic stress. Because chronic stress is when the stress becomes so normal that you don't even notice that you're stressed. So, chronic stress is not a good thing, because its next avenue to release is going to be physically, typically. So, we have to have a balance of tension and relaxation. And yoga, Nidra, and Reiki are amazing tools for this. Yoga Nidra, if you're not familiar with that, is a meditation. It's a guided meditation that leads you down to that still, quiet place through a series of body awarenesses and breathing techniques, where that chatter that goes on in your mind 24/7 just kind of becomes background noise, and you stop talking back to it. That chatter's always going to be there. It's very, very hard to make that go away 100%, and I know there are people that can probably do it. I'm not one of them, and I meditate a lot. But, our bodies are meant to be able to react to stress. That I love the analogy of a sleeping cat, and he hears a dog bark nearby, and he jumps up and he curls his back and he hisses, and he assesses the situation, and the dog was just walking by the house. He lays back down, he goes back to sleep. That's how we're supposed to do it. It's there. Stress is not a bad thing. We have to have some stress. That is how we survive. It's when we never leave that state of stress that we have problems, that we start to develop the chronic stress. We develop the anxiety. It can lead to depression, all kinds of awful things. And then, of course, the physical, heart disease and cancer and all these things. So, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'll just have you know that. So Reiki and Yoga Nidra can get us back to that place where we release that tension and we go to a very relaxed state, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. In Yoga Nidra, we call it resting as the container. So we forget that we are just the container. We are the pot. And the things that come into our lives, our jobs, kids, bills, issues that we have to deal with every day are just things in our pot. And they're not permanent. They pass through. We don't have to become those things. We are the pot. And Yoga Nidra leads us down to that place where we can just rest as the container. Everything else is just stuff passing through. You throw a handful of carrots into a pot of boiling water, the pot does not become carrots. The pot is the pot. And so that's the beauty of Yoga Nidra. It's what I love so much about it. And if you're here locally, I am doing a small group. I can only take 8 people. Yoga Nidra this next Saturday morning in my home. Come and experience a Yoga Nidra. I have yoga mats and blankets. You'll be lying on the ground on a mat with blankies. You can bring a couple of pillows if you like, just so your body can be really comfortable. And I will guide you through a full Yoga Nidra session. We'll set an intention. We're going to release something that we no longer need, that no longer serves us. So we're going to do that at the bottom of the Yoga Nidra. And the yogis tell us that a 45-minute Yoga Nidra is as restorative as 3 hours of sleep. It increases our oxytocin, our serotonin, our melatonin, our GABA, HGH, all of the good hormones and neurotransmitters that we need to help us keep well, to help us keep balanced, and to help us slow down the aging process are released during Yoga Nidra. It also reduces our cortisol, which is the stress hormone that we don't want. So, this information is all on my website, kerriwade.com. Go take a look around. Send me any questions that you have. I'm happy to answer them. I kind of like what I do. Thank you, Spirit. Whew, how's everybody feeling? Feeling some stiffness in my neck. Let's let that go. A lot of times I feel things in my body that give me a clue of what's happening in my client's body. And so when we're a collective group like this, it could be one or more people that there's just that stress in this upper part of the body. So let's just take off that backpack, set it down. We don't need it. Let it go. Grief. That's what I'm feeling here. Just let it go. Knowing you are in a safe place. You are being cared for and loved on by everybody else that's here with us today. We are a tribe. Speaking of tribe, we have a private Facebook group called, what's it called? Love, Laugh, Connect. And I think it should be listed here on my page. So if you'd like to be in that group, please go to Love, Laugh, Connect and send a request. It's just a place where we can share inspiration, where we can share some funny stuff to make us laugh, make us feel good inside. It's our tribe. It's important to have a tribe, especially when you are on a spiritual journey. Gotta have your tribe. Okay, I'm going to bring the Reiki to a close. Went over just a little bit, but that's okay. I feel like we needed it. Oh, that feels better, guys. Feels better. Thank you. Hi, Kelly. Thank you all for being here tonight. I'm going to pull a postcard from Spirit for us. And remember, if you share this video, I'm going to do a goddess power card for you. These are incredibly beautiful cards. I'll share them more in the weeks to come, too. But the postcard from Spirit, that's also by Colette Baron Reed. They're just beautiful messages from Spirit. So let's just see what Spirit has to tell us this week. Oops, got an upside down. Oh, got a few upside downs. The hell, Kerri? Oh my gosh. I'm a mess. Oh, okay. So, postcard from Spirit. Just a great message that we can carry through our week. Everybody who's on here tonight. Thank you, Angela. You're beautiful too. I love Reiki. I love sharing these Reikis with you, so thank you so much for being here, being part of my tribe. I always seem to gravitate towards these cards that have like some of this turquoise color. I don't know what it is. I'm really attracted to it for some reason. Okay, dearest you. Better put on my glasses because this could be a really interesting message otherwise. There are times when loss is a part of life. Okay, where's that grief we were just talking about, right? Sometimes a loss is welcome, like when you leave a situation not in alignment with your highest good. Sometimes a loss is sudden and painful, like when a loved one crosses over to our dimension. Regardless of the nature of the loss and your control over it, your experience is asking to be acknowledged. Tears are necessary, as is grief. When you repress the natural expression of loss and try to move on too quickly, the unprocessed pain haunts you in destructive ways. We don't want that for you. Instead, let your heart break open wide. Feel the loss and integrate it. See the beauty that was, the lessons learned, and know that as you let go of what has passed, ever more of you remains. It gets better, we promise. Your heart expands with more compassion for the world than ever before. Love heals all. We are loving you, sending you love, always and forever. Well, yeah, you can't make that shit up, my friends. Well, we're just talking about all this grief. Yes. Perfect divine timing. It happens every time. Every single time. Hi, Grant. Oh my gosh, I miss you. Is that past your bedtime? Grant. Okay, one other thing that I just wanted to mention is if you're here in the Phoenix area, Candace Parisi and I are doing the readings in Reiki on September 14th, R&R for the soul, we call it. And she's going to be doing a psychic reading for everybody in our group, and I'm going to be doing a group Reiki session. And we've got a lot of fun planned for that day, and I'm so excited about it. Candace is amazing. If you have not seen her or worked with her before, go find her Facebook page and follow her. Candace Parisi, Traveling Intuitive. So anyway, we are doing this on September 14th in Phoenix. It's a Saturday. We have We just opened up a third time slot because our first 2 time slots were getting really full, and we had other people that wanted to come. So we have one at 11 o'clock from 11 to 1, another one from 2 to 4, and a third one from 5 to 7. And so if you're here in the area, please come and join us and bring a friend. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we just opened up that evening time slot this week. And so, you know, come hang with us. This is going to be really, really, really amazing. So that's all I've got for today. Hi, Kathy. If you just joined Kathy, I want you to go back and rewatch this, okay? Because you're going to be amazed at the message that comes through. I love you, my friends, and thank you for being here. Again, thanks for sharing this live post. And I will be pulling Goddess cards and sending you the little interpretation part of it tomorrow. So watch your Facebook for that. If I can, if it'll let me, I'll send it to you in a private message. So you might have to check and see if you have a private message waiting on your Facebook friend or your Facebook page. If we're friends on Facebook, it's not an issue. If we're not, I might have a problem. So I might ask you to, or I might just, I'll find a way to get it to you, okay? Or I'll send you a message on your Facebook thing and say, you know, call me or tag you on here or something. So anyway, have a wonderful night, and I will see you next week. Peace and blessings to you. Bye-bye.